watching NBC4, connected to you. Live from the area's leading news station, this is News 4 at 11.
A frightening discovery on an old prison property in Fairfax County tonight. A security guard stumbled upon a body. Good evening, I'm Doreen Gensler. Jim Vance is off tonight. Police say the body is that of a young man in his early 20s or late teens, maybe. It was found behind an abandoned home off Lorton and Furnace Roads in Lorton, Virginia. Miguel Almaguer is at the scene with the latest. Miguel?
Doreen, police wrapped up their crime scene investigation about an hour and a half ago, and tonight they leave with more questions than answers.
Off a back road, through the brush and trees, behind an abandoned home. The body was found on Old Lorton prison property by a security guard. A homicide, according to detectives. Police won't say how long the unidentified man has been dead, but the crime scene appears fresh.
It's obviously shocking to hear this.
Greg Hanshin lives just 300 feet away, one of a handful of neighbors who live in the secluded area.
Between the 7 families that live here, there's about 17, 18 acres.
Still early in their investigation, police don't know much about the victim or how he died. An isolated murder mystery with few leads and, for now, no motive.
The body's believed to be that of an Asian or Hispanic male in his late teens to early 20s with black hair. The body has sustained trauma to the upper body.
Marking the 4th homicide of the year, Fairfax County detectives say the body was never covered. Instead, left behind in an area with little foot traffic, a place few would ever search. Known for its deep-rooted history and rolling green landscape, the Old Lorton prison is no longer home to criminals, but tonight it is home to a brutal crime.
It's just crazy. It's right down the road.
Neighbors in the area say they haven't noticed anything unusual over the past few days, except for a relatively loud party in this community last Saturday. Doreen?
All right, Miguel Almaguer reporting from Lorton. Thanks, Miguel. Police are searching for a group of suspects in a brutal attack in Fairfax County. Investigators say 5 men beat up a man with a baseball bat, ran him over with a car, and stole his cell phone. It happened last night as the man was walking home from a laundromat on Summerfield Drive, right near Falls Church. Police found the stolen car used in the attack at a nearby shopping center. Neighbors say they're surprised by what happened.
I can't believe it in this neighborhood. You ever seen anything like that happen?
No, I've lived here 50 years.
He's lived here 50 years and it's never happened.
This is a nice, quiet neighborhood, and I certainly don't like to see anything like that.
The 36-year-old victim is in the hospital, and he is expected to survive. A judge from D.C. who sued a dry cleaners for $54 million won't be getting a dime. Today, a judge issued her ruling in the case that stemmed from a lost pair of pants. Derek Ward joins us from Custom Cleaners in Northeast D.C. with reaction to this decision. Derek?
Well, Doreen, what started out 2 years ago as a simple dry cleaning ticket from this establishment here in Northeast ended up today as a 23-page judge's decision. Now, that dry cleaning ticket probably cost the plaintiff, what, $5, $7? This could cost him thousands and then some. They're probably the most famous pants in America right now, being at the center of a 2-year-old $54 million lawsuit brought by Administrative Judge Roy Pearson, claiming damages because the cleaners lost them and tried to replace them with another pair.
Most customer, about 99%, he's crazy.
He would have been better off just let the pants go.
That's the first reaction you get from most people on both sides of the counter about this lawsuit.
She didn't know that the child would grow this large and to this extent.
But one legal expert says don't get hung up on calling this a frivolous lawsuit right away.
One of the most famous lawsuits which was called frivolous was Brown v. Board of Education. Look what happened.
Banzas law students won hundreds of lawsuits against cleaners who charged women more than men for cleaning identical garments.
The judge did uphold the principle that there can be cumulative violations for every single day, and that in some situations, if somebody guarantees satisfaction, they've got to get it.
The satisfaction guaranteed sign is conspicuously absent from the custom dry cleaner's window. Still, dry cleaners we talk to say they see no pressing need to change the way they do business. And while the owners of custom dry cleaners may have prevailed, an appeal is expected.
I just wonder if in 2 years or 3 years we're reading about this being at the Supreme Court level. That scares the living daylights out of me.
Now, this judge's ruling says that Pearson will have to pay court costs for the Chungs, and pending the outcome of some subsequent filings, he may be responsible for their lawyers' fees and other costs as well. Reporting live in Northeast, now back to you in the studio.
All right, Derek Ward, thank you. 19 new crime cameras in the district will start recording this week. Police are now installing the last of the 72 cameras in the city's closed-circuit television system. The cameras focus on public areas. They operate 24 hours a day. Investigators can then review the footage after a crime happens, and it may help solve the case. Police decided to add the cameras to the system as part of the Summer Crime Initiative. A warning to local parents tonight as police hunt for a man who is accused of sexually assaulting a young girl. It happened in Prince William County on Friday. Police say Kwame Boateng lured an 8-year-old girl into his apartment, saying he had pictures of her. Investigators say he then sexually assaulted the little girl, and they think he's done this to the same girl several times before. Call Prince William County Police if you think you might have any information on Boateng's whereabouts. A frightening scene when a car crashed into a house in Largo tonight. Police say the driver lost control and slammed into the front of the house. It happened at a home on White House Road and Woodlawn Boulevard. Nobody was at the front of the home when the crash happened. The driver of the car wasn't hurt. Still ahead on News 4 at 11, a major construction project's about to begin on a busy D.C. commuter route. We'll hear from the family of a murdered pregnant woman from Ohio now that charges have been filed in the case. And planning for tomorrow while budgeting for today. Jim Hanley joins us with financial advice for single women. And Bob, what's ahead in weather?
Doreen, planning for tomorrow? You might want to keep the umbrella and also the air conditioning handy. Lindsay, what you got?
Bob, a world champion eats himself into a hole. The Mets show off their dancing skills, and the Nationals try to silence the bats of the Atlanta Braves as News 4 at 11 continues.
Murdered pregnant woman is reacting tonight to charges in the case. Investigators found Jesse Davis dead in a national park in Ohio over the weekend. Davis's boyfriend, police officer Bobby Cutts, was arraigned today. Cutts is charged with Davis's murder and that of her unborn baby. The two also have a 2-year-old son together. Davis's family expressed pity for the suspect's family.
We prayed that it was not him. That's my grandson's father. God is the ultimate judge of Mr. Cutts, and I'm going to leave it at that.
The city police department in Canton, Ohio, suspended Cutts without pay today. Meanwhile, his friend Maisha Farrell was also arraigned today. She has been charged with lying to police. There's a real-life tragedy in the world of wrestling tonight. WWE wrestler Chris Benoit, his wife, and 7-year-old son were found dead in their home in Georgia today. Police say they're investigating the deaths as a double murder-suicide. This is video from last year's WrestleMania. Benoit was a former world heavyweight champion, intercontinental champion, and had several tag team titles over his 22-year career. An autopsy will be performed tomorrow. A dramatic attempted robbery by a U.S. Marine was caught on videotape. The video shows the Marine walking into a liquor store in Oceanside, California on Saturday, holding up 2 store clerks. The clerks start putting money into a paper bag when one of them snatches the robber's gun. The other clerk grabs a gun from under the counter and shoots at the suspect. He was found about a block away after he collapsed from gunshot wounds. He's expected to survive. Still ahead on News 4 at 11, there's a new campaign to help homeowners who may be in danger of foreclosure, balancing saving and spending. Jim Hanley reports on how to succeed on a single income. And the hot, humid weather is going to be with us for a little while. Bob Ryan has our full forecast coming up.
Hold on for a while.
The new campaign is raising awareness on ways to avoid foreclosure. In Northern Virginia, it's a problem for homeowners in some neighborhoods in Woodbridge, Dale City, and Manassas in Prince William County, as well as Sterling in Loudoun County. The Mortgage Bankers Association says 6 of 10 delinquent homeowners don't realize there are resources to help them. So a nonprofit group called Neighborhoods America is launching a series of TV and print ads to change that. You can find more resources on our website, NBC4.com. Just look under Online Extras. Single women now outnumber married women, and that's changing the way we think of financing futures. Jim Hanley talked with women saving and spending on their own and with an expert who offers tips on how to succeed. Jim joins us with his report that we're calling Ms. Money. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Doreen. You know, 51% of women are living without a spouse today. In 1950, that number was 35%. Why the demographic shift? Well, women are marrying later in life, some choosing to stay single. The divorce rate is high, and many outlive their mates. A future of earning and spending on their own is a reality many women embrace, others find challenging. Amy Hayden is on her own when it comes to spending, saving, and planning for her future. But when it comes to being a single woman, she has a lot of company.
I think it has advantages in that you have more freedom. You can make any choices you want. But then it goes back to you have to rely on yourself to get everything done.
Hayden has a high-income technology sales job, and she has a plan. In her 40s with a 401k and a financial advisor, Anna Ibrahim.
Look at the risk factor.
There may be a career change with lower salary down the road, too.
I'm going to, maximize my 401k today and my investments in that. And being more aggressive on my approach to investments, knowing that long-term, I'm going to be making some changes.
Bonus and commission checks go to savings and short-term goals, including well-earned vacations.
I think one of the battles that women just like Amy fight with is, I don't want to give up life today to have a better future. How do I make both of them work?
A recent AARP survey shows when it comes to saving for retirement, 60% of single women 45 and older don't know how much they'll need. 68% have no long-term spending plan. When it comes to income, singles need to make more for expenses like travel.
Your expenses are not half of what a couple costs, but more like 70% of what a couple costs.
Everything's more expensive when you're single.
Shireen Munir is a 40-year-old interior designer, on her own personally and now professionally, having started her own business.
It's scary because you don't know when the next project is going to come from.
She's putting money into a retirement account. Long-term is her priority, but she wants to be flexible along the way.
Break it down into phases, and life will be good as you break it down slowly but surely into small phases of your life. Something always comes up. Your plans change.
I do pay-as-you-go, so that it comes out of my paycheck before I ever see it.
Many single women have another added expense of being in the professional world.
Single women tend to be in, I want to say, higher profile jobs where your appearance is very important, what you drive to work is very important, what your clientele sees in you is very important, and all that costs money.
Ibrahim adds, for single women, it's even more important to have the best health care insurance plan. That can include paying for someone to care for themselves, as opposed to a son, daughter, or spouse. In the AARP survey of women 45 and older, 90% said they were confident they're doing all they can to keep themselves healthy. Doreen?
You got to start thinking about it before 45,
Oh, that's
though.
right. Well before these days,
right.
huh?
Thank you, Jim Hanley. So it's going to
little
be
weather
a little
insurance you want to have?
Yeah. Could we arrange for that?
I think actually staying out late tomorrow, I'd take along the umbrella because there have been a few showers out tonight. Not around here, though. Another dry night. Actually, this June is a turnaround from last June. Our high temperature, well, close to 90, but it certainly felt like it with the humidity. A year ago, these 2 days, June 25th to 26th, over 9 inches of rain. And these were some of the scenes from Silver Spring and many other areas, not only around Washington, but all the way up into Montgomery County, Frederick County. There were tragically 5 fatalities from the flooding. Remember Lake Needwood, there was concern about the dam breaking. 7.1 inches of rain alone in June 25th, a year ago, which was the second greatest daily rainfall we'd ever had here in Washington. We had over 8 inches in 24 hours. What a year ago it was. Here now we are in Washington this year, and we've got that humid flow, but unlike last year, we don't have a weather boundary right near us with tropical air. That was really the scenario that brought those incredible rains around us. more scattered showers and thunder showers that we've seen. A few leftovers. There might be a shower for you folks in Annapolis. Nothing like the terrible, terrible rains of a year ago. There have been some pretty nasty showers and thunder showers down in the southwestern parts of Virginia. And with the overall pattern that we have, I think in the next few days there will be more of those, especially coming out of the mountains. You folks out in the Blue Ridge, Winchester, you saw some today in Frederick County. Look at Martinsburg, 1.5 inches of rain because the air all the way up is pretty saturated, very, very moist. So when we get into this pattern, even though the still pop-up variety showers and thunder showers, temperature now in Washington still 80 degrees with the dew points in the high 60s. With that scenario, it means that even those showers and thunder showers slowly moving can dump a heavy amount of rain in a short time. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow and on into Wednesday too. By late Wednesday and Thursday, there'll be another weather front beginning to try and come our way, but not clear here until we get into Friday. But then the good news is, I think by Friday we'll be seeing another return of the dry, comfortable air we enjoyed on Saturday and Sunday. So overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, boy, it's going to be one of those steamy mornings heading out with the morning temperatures in the mid, maybe even the high 70s. If you're heading out about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. By the afternoon, a lot of sunshine, but also some showers, thunder showers, once again beginning to bubble up out to our west. Air quality will be code yellow for the haze, humidity around, and moderately unhealthy levels of ozone. Then tomorrow evening, showers, thunder showers. Some could be forming and moving right around the Washington metropolitan area with temperatures only into the 80s, even during the evening hours. And then there's that 30 to 40% chance, I think, on into Wednesday and Thursday. Finally, the weather front comes through on Friday. So, you know, if you can put up with this for a week, 4 or 5 days, I think once again we will get less humid air coming in with a little bit of BR weather. Brief relief for the weekend.
That's a meteorological term. Even better if you can figure out a way to take Friday off. That looks pretty nice. Yeah. All right, thank you, Bob. Well, coming up next in sports, the New York Mets celebrate like they won the World Series.
If you're a man over 40...
What's going on with the Nats now?
Well, we got some good news. We got some bad news. I know. Which one do you want? Here's the deal. The Nationals night started off with the bad news that shortstop Christian Guzman is now out for the year after thumb surgery. The good news was pitcher Jason Bergman was back from his elbow injury, making his first start since May 14th. Bergman gave up 4 hits in 4 innings, but left before the Braves sealed their fate in the 6th. Let me take you back to Atlanta. We're in the bottom of the 1st. The Braves' Edgar Renteria is up. He's got a man on first. He swings, misses. Look at Brian Schneider. Makes the throw to second in time for Belliard to get the tag. A great throw by Schneider. Bergman struck out 4, gave up 1 run over 4 innings. Well, in the 6th, new pitcher Billy Traber facing the Braves' Brian McCann with 2 runners on. McCann knows how to get a hold of all of this one, crushes it, blasts a shot to deep right field for the 3-run homer to give the Braves a 4-0 lead. Billy Traber knows those Braves on the verge of busting from their serious losing slump. Brian Schneider is up now with runners on first and third in the top of the 7th. He hits a blooper to left field, and this one drops in front of the outfielder. Austin Kearns scores from third. Schneider was the offensive star. He went 3 for 4 tonight, but it wasn't enough. The Braves beat the Nats 4-1. Well, sometimes the celebrations in sports are much more fun to watch than the games themselves. And tonight, that was the case for the New York Mets, who, with the win over the Cardinals, extended their winning streak to 4. Let's go on out to Shea Stadium. Bottom of the 11th inning, Sean Green facing Russ Springer. And Green says, you know what? I'm tired. It's time to go home. He crushes his 7th homer of the year, sends it to deep right field, gives the Mets a 2-1 win. But watch this. His teammates rush out to home plate to greet him. And look at Jose Reyes there in the middle, just dancing. These guys, yes, they're having the time of their lives. It's always fun to see grown-ups celebrate like kids, isn't it? And look at that. He gets to come home and jump into their arms. Those guys could win a dancing competition, I think. Well, world-famous hot dog eating expert Takiro Kobayashi has eaten himself into a hole. Kobayashi, winner of 6 consecutive Nathan's hot dog eating contests, has injured himself training and may not be able, yes, can you believe it? All that time he spends actually feeding himself, he might not be able to compete on July 4th. Let me take you to Coney Island. And here he is, Takiro Tsunami, they call him, Kobayashi. And up until 3 weeks ago, ago, Kobayashi held a record for eating 53 3/4 hot dogs in 12 minutes. But he's been diagnosed with jaw arthritis, can barely open his mouth now. The superhero hot dog eating champ is day to day on whether he'll be able to participate in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest next Wednesday. If he doesn't compete, you can watch out for one local competitor. Her name's Sonia Thomas. She's from Alexandria, and they call her the Black Widow. This time next week, the most hyped golf tournament in Washington, D.C. will be just 3 days away. The first round of Tiger Woods' AT&T National begins Thursday, July 5th. And because his baby was born last week, Tiger is expected to be there. Today, he released the first photos on his website. Tiger and his wife, Eland, welcomed baby Sam Alexis Woods into the world June 18th, the day after Father's Day. And it might be lucky for the D.C. area because Tiger decided to pull out of this weekend's tournament so that he could stay home with his family. But he is expected to be in Bethesda next week alongside his fellow tour players.
I missed the big announcement. Is it a baby boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
A girl.
Sam
Okay.
Alexis,
All
yes,
right.
it is a girl.
All right,
yes,
that's exciting.
and she's very tiny because she was so early. So,
All right.
yes.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, a busy commuter route into the district. It's about to undergo a major renovation. Stay tuned. Some breaking news in Prince George's County. 3 people were seriously hurt after their vehicle rolled over on southbound 95 near the Route 198 exit in Laurel. 2 of the injured are children. Right now, police have closed all of the southbound lanes of I-95 while they investigate. The freeway should reopen before midnight. A major commuter route in the district is getting a multi-million-dollar makeover. The renovation's happening along Foxhall Road between Canal Road and Nebraska Avenue. It's going to mean major headaches for thousands of commuters who use that route. DDOT officials plan to make $4 million in road improvements and streetscape upgrades. The renovation is expected to take about a year. Traffic will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction during construction. There's more good news at the gas pump tonight. The price of gas continues to drop, though not by much. According to AAA, a gallon of regular unleaded now averages $2.98 nationwide. In the district, it's $3.10 a gallon for regular. In Maryland, $2.96. And Virginia has the lowest gas prices in our area at $2.84 a gallon. We'll be right back.
A lot of people are taking a...
Now, thanks for joining us, everybody. The Tonight Show is next. We'll see you tomorrow.